Well, good day. So for today, we're going to do another Rankin and Bass homage video. The homage for the episode today comes from the fantastic show Community, where one of the main characters has a existential Christmas crisis. So, as per usual, let's recap the episode first. I'll give you some of my thoughts on the show, and then we'll talk some more things about it after. So, alright, let's go. So it is Christmas time at Greendale Community College. We meet up with our good friend Abed. You know, that guy who is incredibly fixated on all things pop culture? Well, he totally believes that this is going to be the greatest Christmas ever. And it has to be. That's why everybody looks like they're stop-motion animated characters today, and not like their usual real-life selves. Of course, a statement like that kind of concerns everybody, including Abed. So two of his friends, Jeff and Britta, take him to go see Professor Duncan, the professor of psychology at Greendale. So Professor Duncan is like, yeah, I could probably help this guy, but I can also probably publish a really awesome journal based on this. I'll do it. But Abed thinks he just needs to find the meaning of Christmas because, that's, well, easy enough, I guess, in a way, what it means for everybody. But all the rest of his friends in the study group, they planned a help session for him in the study room, and Abed leads them all into his world of imagination on his trek to find the meaning of Christmas. At least what it means to him. So we enter this fantastic imagination land, and we land on planet Abed, the most Christmassy planet there is. And everybody in the study group is changed into Christmas-type characters. So you now have Jeff in the box, Troy Soldier, Britta Bot, Teddy Pierce, Ballerani, Baby Doll Shirley, and Professor Duncan is now the Christmas Wizard. He convinces Abed to go to the Cave of Frozen Memories because maybe that's where the answer to his Christmas psychosis is. But Abed warns everybody, this trek to the cave is not an easy one. It will test your commitment to Christmas. And if that commitment cannot be met, you're off of the trek, Willy Wonka style. And he's pretty good to his word. Shirley is kicked off the planet because she is projecting her own version of Christmas, and that's not really there to help Abed. And she's taken away with the Christmas pterodactyl. Jeff doesn't care to be there, so he is eaten by a swarm of humbugs. Abed also breaks Professor Duncan by having him reveal his own daddy issues, so he's gone. And Abed blows up the Cave of Frozen Memories, leaving Britta Bot behind because she didn't have any faith in Abed that he will figure this out himself. So the remaining crew hop on a train so they can go to the North Pole, Santa's workshop. That's where the meaning of Christmas has got to be, right? Well, re-enter Professor Duncan. He is now the Christmas Warlock, because his real-life version of him went back to Abed's dorm room to see if he can find any clues on Abed's problems here. And he found a letter from Abed's mom. Seeing as this would derail Abed's natural progress to find the answers for himself, Annie and Troy sacrificed their imagination selves to blow up half the train along with Professor Duncan so Abed can go on this trek himself. Well, with Pierce too, because he's just kicking the boot for the cookies. They wind up at the North Pole, Santa's workshop, a beautiful place. If it was open, the place is shut down, the lights are all off. Abed's pretty confused, and that's when the Christmas Warlock comes back. He's like, yo, here's this letter from your mother. And he gets to the actual root of all things. You see, this letter that Abed got from his mother was a bit too much for Abed. Abed and his mom have always gotten together on December 9th to watch Christmas movies. Today is December 9th, but she's not here. Since she divorced Abed's dad, she has now gotten a new family and they're creating new traditions of what to do with the young kids. Abed's a man now, so he doesn't need to have these childish traditions. And that broke Abed. He's frozen. He's catatonic. What will happen of his Christmas spirit. His meaning of Christmas is shattered. Or is it? Nay, because the rest of the study group came back, singing a song and throwing things at Duncan. They made Abed realize that the meaning of Christmas isn't these traditions that you've done here and there. It's what you hold near and dear in your heart in the present. And he's like, yeah, you know what? I can make new traditions with my friends here. And so he does. The Christmas pterodactyl takes Duncan away. They go back to Abed's dorm room and they all start a new Christmas tradition of them all watching Christmas specials together. Kind of almost like what we're doing here, but not quite. And with that, that is the end of this fantastic Christmas special. That was actually such a phenomenally awesome episode. And the show Community is actually really awesome at doing these really zany themed episodes. Like they would have a Western paintball episode, a Pillow Fort Civil War documentary episode, alternate reality episodes. So to do a Christmas stop motion one, like fits so perfectly within the whole realm of the show. And it works really well as a standalone episode. Like you don't have to watch the whole series to understand what's going on with the characters because they explain it pretty good in this episode. So yeah, you can just watch it for the first time and that's the only episode you watch if you really want. So it's really neat watching it because you can see obviously Abed's kind of imagination, how everything is portrayed through stop motion, but you can also kind of really see how everything is interacting kind of behind the scenes of everybody in real life just sitting around the table trying to help Abed out. Kind of like when you're watching wrestling, you actually kind of watch the wrestling match as it's unfolding, but you can also watch it as how everything is going towards the script and how the referee and everybody's trying to make the whole match kind of go a certain way, you know? It's kind of neat like that. Like this episode is really well layered like that. And at the end, they actually create a pretty awesome Christmas special with that beautiful meaning of Christmas at the end where it's all about togetherness and love and hope. Awesome stuff all around, right? And of course, like all Rankin and Bass Christmas specials, this one has some really fun and awesome original songs written into it. So it's just great all around. Like, I really can't say enough good things about it. So if you haven't watched it, I recommend that you do because it's wicked awesome. And with all that, let's see what else we can dig up on this episode here. So you're probably thinking, well, yeah, sure, it's a stop motion kind of episode, but what does that have to do with Rankin and Bass? How was it a Rankin and Bass homage? Well, you see, when Abed is talking about how him and his mother would always watch a Christmas special together on December 9th, he did mention how that special was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Obviously, it's the Rankin and Bass one, because if he's having some sort of an existential crisis, it's going to be based on the particular cause, which would be the stop-motion Rudolph. So right off the bat, there's your big link, and his whole world is very Rankin and Bass. Right? Like a whole bunch of fantastic Christmas songs throughout the special. Even some of the characters are pretty kind of similar to some Rankin and Bass characters we've seen. Well, I guess right off the bat, everybody is their own character, which is, you know, pretty cool. You see a wide variety of types of characters in Rankin and Bass, and this one is no different. So you have Jeff in the box, which is, you know, obviously pretty similar to our good friend Charlie in the box. Right? There was a really short but hilarious scene with Senior Chang where Abed seen him as a snowman, which of course obviously would be Frosty. There is the Christmas pterodactyl, which is seemingly a ridiculous character, but as if that wouldn't kind of remind you of Eon the Vulture from Rudolph's Shiny New Year. Troy Soldier's pretty awesome, and we have seen soldiers like in Santa Claus is Coming to Town and other specials as well. That's a bit of a stretch, you know, but I'm still adding it. And of course, Rankin and Bass Christmas specials usually revolve around magic of some sort, right? With like the Winter Warlock, Winter Bolt, just to name a few. So having Professor Duncan as the Christmas Wizard fits in perfectly. Actually, he's kind of a lot more like Winter Warlock because both characters were warlocks and both characters were just regular good wizards. All the main characters from the show being shown as some different persona in this episode is actually pretty telling of their characters. So Jeff being Jeff in the box, he's just a big head, a big ego. That's kind of how he's represented in this. Britta is not a perfect, you know, person, but she tries, so that's why she's kind of shown as a malfunctioning robot device. Annie is a creature of grace, so she's shown as a ballerina. Troy is shown as Troy Soldier, which is a great name, but Abed's best friend and someone who will fight for him, as best friends do, so he's seen as a soldier. Pierce is a teddy bear because Abed believes he could deserve more love than he gets, but he is kind of a jerk, right, at the same time. And Shirley's shown as a big baby because she can be quite entitled at times, and that's kind of what babies are. So, as I've mentioned before, Community having all these themed episodes for Christmas, this one is just done so well. Like it's well done in regards to its own show story writing and its different themes and complexities when introducing some random thing, like this time Christmas, and it's done so well to really give that proper homage to Rankin and Bass. I think they've really nailed it pretty good. There is also the very blatant reference to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Even Abed flat out stated so. Whereof, if your commitment to Christmas is, in question, well then you're gone, right? Kinda like how Willy Wonka would kick you out of the chocolate factory, complete with a original song singing about your departure in the wonderful tradition of the Oompa Loompas. And at the very end of the show, when we see the reflection of the characters watching the TV special on Abed's TV, it's not the stop motion versions of the characters, it's the real actors in there, so you can actually kinda see them briefly, obscurely, as their real life selves in this episode. So yeah, good. Yeah, and other than that, that's that. Right on, and there you go. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you liked it as much as I did making it. Also, feel free to check out the source material that I featured in this video. And if you want to leave a comment on anything you may have liked or things I might have missed in this, feel free to do so. Or anything else, just to say hi. That's cool too. And other than that, have a great day. Thanks.